You guys requested it, you wanted it, so I'm delivering it. It's the 100% American made hardcore hammers Carpenter's Hatchet. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Wes, the Suburban Viking. I am Midgard Axe. How's everybody doing? How you guys been? Sorry I'm getting this thing out a little late this week. I wanted to have this dropped on Tuesday. I'm currently filming at almost 9 o'clock on Thursday. I wanted to try to get it out a little earlier, but guys, I've been sick all week and it's been pouring down rain. So, I guess it was a good week to get sick. Still not feeling 100%, but we're going to go on with the show. Okay, so as the title says, and at the beginning of the video, I told you guys I got a hardcore hammers Carpenter's axe. Pretty cool. I see these things all the time, especially on Facebook. There's ads for them everywhere. From what I read and what I saw, Hardcore Hammers has some really good reviews, and their axes are pretty cool looking. So I went out, bought one. It arrived today, so I'm glad I waited to make this video because it actually showed up today on my door around like 4 o'clock. So it's cool I got it now. So let's go over the information. I'm going to go over who Hardcore Hammers is as a company, and then we're going to get into this axe. And it's still boxed. I haven't opened it yet, which I'm going to do for you guys on camera. So when you go into Hardcore Hammers website, they have a really nice website. It's very manageable. It's very easy to navigate, and everything's right there for you to get from the home at the home page. Okay, so I did enjoy that when I went onto the website and was browsing everything. Now at the very front of their website, it tells you at the very top, it says Hardcore Hammers began in 2010 with the mission of creating innovative tools made in America. Since then, we have grown exponentially year after year, expanding our line into axes, hatchets, and accessories while maintaining our principles of providing premium products. We take great pride in manufacturing our products here in the United States with 100% American materials while creating jobs for our workers. Now, if you go to the frequently asked questions page up at the top and you scroll down a little bit, I did get a little bit more information on what Hardcore Hammers is about and their products and where they're made at. And it says all of our products are proudly 100% made in the USA. That means material and labor. While some of our competitors feel it's okay to take foreign parts, assemble them here, and call it American made, we do not. That bothers me. It really does, guys, when people take products from other places and then put it together and say it's made here. It's not technically, it's assembled here. It's not made here. The steel heads came from foundries in Wisconsin and Illinois. Our premium American hickory handles are turned to our exact specifications in Alabama and Arkansas. Our leather accessories are made for us to our specifications in Montana. Our products are all assembled and shipped from our state in Illinois, which is really cool, guys. So it sounds like here on their website, they're saying that everything they do is 100% American made, from the axe head to the handles, all the way down to the leather work. Everything is done right here in the United States of America. So I know that a lot of you will appreciate that because I get a lot of requests to do all American axes. You'd be surprised on how hard it is to find all American axes just from a general search. I think it's kind of crazy that you have to search that hard to find an all American axe. However, you can find them. They're just not that prevalent, when you're searching. Anywho, when you get onto Hardcore Hammers website, at the very beginning, I read you guys that mission statement they have at the top. And then when you go down, it goes through everything that they do on here. Hatchets, hammers, axes. They do tire thumpers, which is actually pretty cool. And of course, they have accessories, leather collars, whetstones. They also have some leather slings for your axes. Sorry, guys. Not feeling the greatest. They do have some specialized axes with artwork on them. They're really expensive. Of course, they have apparel. And then I want to tell you guys about this, which is really cool. They actually support a charity called Purple Heart Homes. And what it does is when you get on there, you go to the axe and you can buy this specific axe. If you look at the picture here, it actually has it. It looks like it's been burned into the handle, the Purple Heart Homes logo, which is really cool. And it's a charitable organization that works with veterans and housing needs, which is really awesome. And what got me the most, and what impressed me the most, guys, was that they're not given 3%, 5%, 10% of the sales to this organization. They're given 25% of the purchase price goes to the charity, which is really cool. I know most people most companies that I've seen when they do charitable work, it's 10%, which is great. I think charity's great, but 25%, I think, out of each one of these axes sold is a lot. And then you'll have companies that say they give 20%, but then when you do a little bit more research, you'll find out that 20% of the overall yearly sales, or whatever the case may be, which is actually a smaller number than 20% of the actual individual sale. So you got to pay attention to that. Read up on these companies when they say they do charity work, because they'll word it a certain way, but it comes across one way, but it's actually another. This one here lays it out right for you. 25% off the top goes straight to the charity, and it's for a veterans organization, which I support that immensely. So that's really cool. They also have a page on their website too for things that are about to drop or pre-orders, which is really cool as well. If you go on there, it's the very first tab you see when you come on, and they have 3 axes right now that you can either purchase, pre-order, or are getting ready to drop, which are the Camp Companion Corporal's Corner Edition, the Camp Companion Signature First Edition, and then the Camp Companion Hardcore Edition. So they have 3 axes in there now that are pre-order, and it looks like one's already sold out. But they are some very, very nice axes. And what I like about these two is that these have workable poles on the back, which is really cool. So it is a multi-purpose tool. Now, because this is an axe channel, I'm going to focus on the actual axe itself that I bought. If I do another Hardcore Hammers axe, I'll go over more of their axe lineup and everything like that, but I'm going to stick with this axe particularly, okay? And I'm really interested to get this box open and see, so why don't we go ahead and tear it open and see what we got. Time to open. Let's open this bad boy up here. Love it. Give it a nice cut down the center here. You know what's kind of cool, guys? As soon as I open this box up, okay, it's wrapped nicely, got a box. I'm going to show you guys something which is really cool. There is a card in here, and it looks like it's handwritten, and it says thank you with my first name. Let's open it up and see what's in here. It's pretty cool. I mean, that's a nice touch. I find it to be anyway. It's very personable. I like that. I love this company. I've never dealt with Hardcore Hammers, guys. Okay, so they give you a cool sticker, the Hardcore Hammer sticker. I need to get a wall where I can put these stickers at. They give you the receipt. You guys want to see what they give you in the box? A Band-Aid. That is priceless. That's good. I like that. That, sense of humor, guys. They got it. And it's personable, sense of humor. That's just a great marketing tool. I mean, people are going to remember this. People are going to watch this video and remember this. I'm going to remember this. And because I opened it on camera, you got an honest reaction from me. I've never ordered one of their axes or dealt with their axes before. So this is a really cool moment for me. That's really cool. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that companies out there are still doing stuff like this. It's nice. It's a nice personal touch. All right, getting all the sappy shit out of the way. All right, so let's open this bad boy up here and see what we got. I got it out of the package, but let's go over the website's information on this axe, and then I'll go over it and give you my personal opinion and first impressions on it, okay? Okay, so on the website, it's named the Carpenters Hatchet 2.0. It's coming in for about $70. I will tell you guys, I got this one on closeout. They have a closeout tab that you can go to, and they have like closeout deals. I got this on the closeout deal. All in all, I think I paid everything with the sheath It was around $70 for everything, which is kind of cool. And you do have the ability to choose a sheath or not choose a sheath. Scroll down a little bit further, it says Hardcore Carpenter's Hatchet, also known as the Half Hatchet or Rigging Axe. This is our version of the workhouse Grandpa broke us in with. 22-ounce high carbon steel alloy head, sits on an 18-inch American hickory handle, 100% made in the USA, which is really cool, really cool. And if you go down, guys, it gives you a little brief diagram here, Carpenter's Hatchet, showing you the overall length. Now, it does say 18 inches, but in the diagram it says it's 17 and a half, because they go ahead and halved it on the handle. And it gives you some dimensions on the head length, bit length, the length of the pole in the back, and all that good jazz there. So it's a very brief description about the hatchet on there. It just gives you the information, high carbon steel with an 18-inch American hickory handle, which is fine. They give you the dimensions. That's great. So let's go over the axe here, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it just as first impressions. I have yet to look at it yet, so let's look at it and see. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to kind of go over that I initially saw, which isn't a huge deal, but the sheath. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but the sheath is already kind of sliced in half. Okay, let's take it out. And I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's kind of cut almost all the way down. So I did notice that. It is a nice leather sheath, and it has their logo stamped into the leather, and the rivets and the snaps very nicely, pulls out really nicely, but that does suck that the bit or the bits coming through the sheath there. Yeah, it's coming right through there, but I can fix that. I can stitch it up, so not a big deal. But it was the first thing I noticed. But all in all, it is a nice sheath, and it also it says on here that it's stamped Madison Saddlery in Montana. So that's pretty cool. Nice little sheath here. And of course, guys, what we do on this channel, we toss sheaths. We don't need it anymore. Let's just get into what I think about the axe. Let's give it some measurements, see if they're true, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. I'm going to go over each thing, okay? So let's start with the handle. It says 18 inches, but then it says 17 and a half once they fit it. And I got 17 and a quarter. I got 17 and a quarter inches, okay? So it's a little bit shorter, but not a big deal. The head length online says that it's 6.5 inches. And on here, I got 6.5 inches. It also says that the bit is 3.5 inches. And on here, I got 3.5 inches. So pretty much spot on, other than the handle being about a 1/4 inch off. That's not a huge deal. But all in all, the measurements seem to match what the website says. It does say online that the head is coming in at 22 ounces. But I'm going to give you an overall weight of this entire hatchet here. And on my scale, it says this thing is coming in at 1 pound and 14.3 ounces. All right, so here comes my favorite part. Let's get into it and see what it looks like. Okay, let's look at this head and see what it looks like hafted on here. Nice and straight. Nice and straight. Hafting is straight. Looks good. Looks real good. Okay, looking at the forging of the head. Very straight as well. I don't have any kicks, no bends or anything like that. It does look nice and even, and it looks really good on each side. So forging looks good, hafting job looks good. It's nice and straight on that handle, so that looks good. Let's see what this bit's all about. Nice even bit all the way from the toe to the heel. Looks really good. And we do have a fairly thin cheeks with a nice tapering bit. I do like that taper on that bit. It doesn't look too thin like it's going to roll over. It looks pretty stout, but it looks like it's going to be a nice sticking profile, so that's cool. Sharpness wise, not bad. Not bad at all. I do like that. Is it razor sharp? It's close. It's close, guys, really close. So they did a good job on this bit. I do enjoy getting axes that are pretty sharp, and this one's coming in pretty damn sharp. I will say that the head looks like it has some type of clear coat on it, like a lacquer or something. I did notice that, and you can tell that, over back in here, but just so you guys know, it has like a lacquer on it, and they do throw their logo here stamped into the head, which is really cool. It's a nice, cool looking logo. Up at the top, where the axe eye is, they do cut it off flush, okay? And they use 2-step wedges. If you guys can see that or not, they use 2-step wedges down in that axe eye there to kind of splay it out and keep that wedge from coming out. So it does look very nice. There's no holes, no gaps up there. Down here at the bottom where it's fitted, it does look like it's hydraulically pressed, which is fine. And I don't have any gaps at all. It's pushed on there pretty good, so that's cool. It looks like it's hafted fairly well. Hammer pole in the back, guys. It says it's coming in at 1 inch, and I got 1 inch. It looks like a nice hammer on the back, and it is nice and even with the pole. It's not all wonky, so that's kind of nice to get that nice even hammer pole on the back, so that way it's not kicked left or right and you're trying to use a hammer and it's, you know, being weird. It's nice in line with the bit, so either way, you swing it this way, you swing it this way, it looks like you're going to get a nice true swing out of it. Getting into this handle, I will say this, it was something I noticed when I first took it out, which is pretty common. Most of the time, guys, you know how I don't like thick axe handles. You know, if you care about that, you can go back and watch another video. I'm not a big fan of thick axe handles. They don't have to be that thick. However, usually on Carpenters axes, they do make the handles a little thicker. And in my opinion, that's okay. It's not a huge deal, but this one is pretty thick, especially down here on the knob area. It's really thick up in there. If you guys can see that or not. I mean, I usually like my hands touching or almost touching down here. I've got, you know, a pretty good amount of space to go. So I will have to do some thinning down here, but that's pretty much to be expected with Carpenter's axe handles, at least most. They do come a little thicker. But the handle feels really good, especially up in here. We do have a little bit of grain run out, but all in all, it's not bad. Down here at the knob, we do have 45-degree grain orientation, but that's not a huge deal on hatchets, guys. But I do like the feel of the handle. I'm just not crazy about how thick this knob is. It's not flared. It's just real thick up in this area, but it's nothing I can't thin out and you know, make to my liking. I will say, though, the only thing that I don't care for, of course, they put lacquer on the handle, guys. You can see it's all nice and shiny. That's not a big deal. I can sand it off or scrape it off. It's not a huge deal, but just want to let you guys know that it does come with that. So first impressions holding it in my hand and just kind of giving it a few. This thing's going to fly pretty well. It's going to fly pretty well. I just got to get that knob shaved to give you an honest opinion. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but it does feel nice in the hand. It feels like it's going to be a nice handle to throw because there's not a huge curve down the bottom. I really do like the curvature of this handle for axe throwing. It does make for a nice almost straight handle with just a slight curve right here before it gets to the knob, and there's not a huge knob, flared knob at the bottom, which is nice. So I think it's going to fly really well, and I think it's going to release out of the hand really well. So how does the weight feel in this thing? It feels really good. I will say that it's more of an evenly distributed weight. And when I say evenly distributed, guys, a lot of axes will either come really bit heavy or really pole heavy. And then you have evenly distributed axes where it feels like the weight is almost even, you know, comparable from the front to the back. It's about even. And this one here feels like, yeah, it's even. So that doesn't make for a bad axe. I do prefer bit heavy axes, but I can throw evenly distributed axes really well too. And I did notice that when I first took it out, that it felt a little evenly distributed, but that's still cool. It doesn't feel really heavy in the hand, I will tell you that. And I think once I shave down this handle, it's going to knock off a couple ounces on there. So it'll make it for a little bit lighter. I'll probably get it in around, I'm going to guess, probably about 1 pound and 12 ounces. So it will be a fairly lighter throwing axe. But I think with that pole on the back here, driving that bit forward, I think it's going to make for a really good hard-hitting throwing axe. But we're going to find out. First impressions, I like this thing, guys. I think it feels really good in the hand. Now, the knob needs to be recontoured, and I'm going to do that. But all in all, not bad. The bit's nice and sharp. It's nice from toe to heel. It's all in line. It has nice thin cheeks with a nice contoured bit, which is really cool. Gives you a nice hammer pole on the back. The weight is evenly distributed. It's not too heavy, but it's also not too light. It feels like it's right in that sweet spot for throwing. So I'm interested to get outside and throw it. I really am. So come back back and watch part 2. This is going to be a free giveaway, so come back and get in on the giveaway on this one. As long as it holds up, it's going to go to one of you guys. So come back, watch part 2. I'm going to take outside and do some changes to the handle, and I'll even probably throw some color on this handle, and then we'll get outside and we'll start really throwing this thing and see what it's got to offer. All American, guys, all American. You asked for it, I brought it to you. Come back and watch part 2. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it. Sorry I got this video out a little late this week, guys. Hopefully I start feeling a little bit better, and hopefully it stops raining and I can get outside and throw a little bit. So thanks for your support. Thanks for everything everybody does that makes this channel what it is. So come back and watch part 2. But until next time, guys, see ya.